Well, hey everybody, we got another question from a viewer today. This time our question comes from TikTok. I had someone leave me a question in one of my comment sections about how to find their passion. She says that she's a junior in high school and she doesn't know what she wants to do with her life, and she's kind of freaked out about it, and she wants my advice about how to find your passion. So I responded with a TikTok, and I'm going to start this video by saying the same thing I said in that TikTok, which is, you're young. You're a junior in high school. I remember being in high school and thinking that I needed to know what I was doing. I remember being in my teens and thinking that I needed to know what my passion was. I thought about it a lot. And I think a lot of that is because of the pressure that our culture puts on young people. We have lots of talking heads, lots of celebrities, CEOs, famous people, always talking about passion, always talking about hard work and diligence and college and education and careers. And there's a lot of pressure to feel like you're supposed to know where you're going to be 10 or 20 years from now, even when you're that young. But the truth is, most of you aren't going to know when you're that young. I thought that I knew, because in middle school and high school, all I wanted to do was become an officer in the U.S. Army. I wanted to lead soldiers. I spent over 8 years working for that goal. I wanted to go to West Point, which is the United States Military Academy. It's like the best military school in the world. People come from all over the globe to attend the academy. We had people from like over 50 different countries there. But it's very, very competitive. I think only like 11% of the people who apply actually get in. And the first time I applied my senior year of high school, I got rejected. I ended up joining the ROTC at a local university, got a big juicy scholarship. I reapplied for West Point and I got in that second time. Had to get a nomination from a senator, a congressman, and a colonel in the Army. And I got in. The only problem is that when I got there, I realized it wasn't what I wanted, at least not anymore. Because while I had been in college, I got engaged to my lifelong sweetheart, Anna, and she became my fiance. And it wasn't until I was like forcefully taken away from her at West Point, because it's in a different state, and you can't visit your family except for like 3 times a year. It's very, very strict. You can't be married when you're there. You can't have kids. I realized it wasn't what I wanted. I realized that who I wanted to be as a young person was actually really different than who my soul wanted me to be. I had some problems with the military. I had some problems with the bureaucracy of the military. I had some problems with the way change happens in the Army, because it happens very, very slow because of the chain of command. There were a lot of factors that went into this decision, and the truth is, it took 8 years to figure this out. Because when you're talking about a question as big as, how do I want to spend my life? Or what do I want to spend the rest of my life working on doing? When you're asking yourself questions that big, there's a lot of information that you need to process. And a lot of that information and those questions can't be answered until you have had certain experiences against which to judge them. If I hadn't fallen in love, then I probably wouldn't have had the information to make the decision that I did, and I probably would have stayed at West Point. But I realized, after having been in love for so long, that what I really wanted to do was have a family. I really wanted to be a father. And the last thing I wanted to do was be an officer in the active duty Army, where at any moment's notice, I could be whisked away for 9 months, 6 months, over a year, and not see my family. And don't get me wrong, this was a really difficult decision. Leaving West Point was crushing for me. It was crushing for people who were cheering for me the whole time. And when I got back, I was lost, because I had planned on going back into the ROTC, going into the National Guard, but I got banned from that. Someone at West Point put in some papers and made it impossible for me to become an officer. So I lost, in like a week, all of my life's ambitions. I lost over $400,000 in scholarships. I had to change my major. I had no idea what I was doing. And at this point, I was, 18 or 19? I don't even remember. Point is, a lot can happen in a short amount of time, and you are still very, very young. It took me years after leaving West Point just to kind of figure out where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. I ended up studying fitness, became a personal trainer, and worked a lot of jobs that I hated, because it turns out a lot of gym managers don't really know how to run a business. They don't really know how to run a PT department, and they don't listen to you, especially if you're new like I was. I think the important thing here is that you know that your journey is going to be different from everyone else's. Some people get out of high school and they know exactly what they're going to do. They go right into real estate. They go right into accounting. Whether they like those jobs, whether those end up being their passion or not, that's up in the air. But a lot of people are going to make you feel like you don't know what you're doing. The truth is, no one knows what they're doing. It's just that some people get lucky, they make good guesses. Other people make guesses that are good in the short term, but in the long term they realize it was a mistake. There's a lot of people who have been working in, any given field for 30 or 40 years, and then they realize that they're 50 or they're 60 and they hated every minute of it, and they have a lot of regrets. The best advice I can give to someone your age is to just not settle on anything. Don't go too fast. It's totally okay to look around, to take your time, to ask questions, and to try different things. And another piece of advice I would give you is have some hobbies or some interests that you keep very, very close to yourself. Embrace them. Make them a part of you. Because no matter what you end up doing for your career, no matter what you end up doing to make a living, you can still go home and have those hobbies and have those things to give you some sense of meaning, even if you're struggling in your career and you don't really know where you're going. If you can come home and paint or lift weights or read your books or write your novel or do whatever it is you want to do, if you have something on the side that brings you peace and clarity and joy, that thing will anchor you to who you are. And it will keep you from drifting too far, because a lot of people who don't have those things, they become their career, right? Their career becomes a personality trait, and you don't want that. You are so much more than your passions. You're so much more than what you do to make money for a living. Passion doesn't have to be just one thing. Very few people find one thing in their life that lights them on fire. For a lot of people, passion is just having a few of the right things in just the right amount, where life is peaceful, life is good, life is fulfilling. You don't have to be in love with your job, and you don't have to have a passion or some sort of calling that you spend all your free time pursuing. It doesn't have to be like that. Sometimes it can be like, I work out every day, I go to work for a shift, I make my paycheck, I use that money to buy good food that I enjoy, I save up for a couple vacations every year, I travel, I have a good relationship, and I'm happy. I'm passionate about life. I'm passionate about my existence. That is enough. That is enough for most people. That would be enough, I think, for the majority of people. But a lot of people don't know that that can also be passion. A lot of people are stuck in the idea that they need to find a single thing, like I'm going to start a business, right? What am I passionate about? Or I need a hobby, I need a passion. What's my passion? Too many people are stuck there. I don't think that's realistic for a lot of people. So that's my advice for you. That's my little storytelling moment. Those are my best pieces of advice for someone your age. Just don't get stuck on the wrong ideas about passion, because you'll end up where you need to be as long as you stay open-minded. And I don't want you to sacrifice the present moment for a future that may never come. If you constantly beat yourself up because you haven't found your passion, you're going to miss a lot of your life, right? Because right now, you're in your prime. Your teens and your 20s are going to be some of the best years of your life. And if you spend them being miserable because you feel like you're missing something, you are creating that situation for yourself. You don't need any of those things. You don't need a passion yet. You can still enjoy your life for what it is, for everything that you have, for all the blessings that are in your life right now. You can enjoy all of those, and everything else can come when it's ready. So don't sacrifice the present for a future that you might never get. Hope that helps, my friend. That is my best advice for you. Let me know how it goes. Leave a comment down below, shoot me a message or an email. I'm here for all of you. And for the rest of you watching, if you have questions about anything at all and you want my humble opinion, you can leave a comment, you can shoot me an email. That's down in the description. All of my other links are down there as well. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.